Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a story for you about my experience during SummerSlam weekend. This was one of those unforgettable times when I tried to soak in as much WWE excitement as possible, and I'm here to share one of the highlights of that weekend with you. With SummerSlam happening not too far from me, I knew I had to make the most of every opportunity WWE had to offer. One event that caught my eye was a special meet and greet at Wingstop with WWE superstars Drew McIntyre and Bayley. It was scheduled for 11 a.m. and was only set to last an hour, so I knew I had to get there early. My son and I arrived at Wingstop an hour before the event, thinking we'd be among the first in line, but to our surprise, a massive line had already formed. We found our spot and braced ourselves for a long wait in the blazing sun. Wingstop was nice enough to hand out free samples of their wings and new sauces, which was a great distraction as we stood there roasting. One of the coolest parts of waiting in line was checking out the awesome WWE shirts people wore. Fans were rocking everything from retro designs to shirts repping the latest superstars. It was like a mini fashion show of wrestling history. As we waited, I struck up a conversation with the guy in front of me. Turns out he was also from Chicago. We bonded over our mutual love for wrestling and talked about some of the best things our city has to offer, like the Chicago Cubs. It was one of those moments where you realize that wrestling fans are truly a family, no matter where you're from. Finally, the moment we'd all been waiting for, Drew and Bayley arrived. They were about 15 minutes late, but the excitement in the air was palpable. They started signing 8x10 photos and posing for pictures with the fans, and the line moved at a decent pace. My son and I were so pumped to meet them. But then, just as we were about 15 to 20 people away from the front, the rules changed. Suddenly, they announced that there would be no more autographs or posed photos. Instead, we had to put our phones on selfie mode, hit record, and walk by them for a super quick meet and greet. They did this to speed things up since they were on a tight schedule and there were still about 100 people behind us. When it was finally our turn, I had a grand total of 7 seconds in front of Drew and Bayley. After nearly 2 hours of waiting, it all happened in a flash. I'm thankful I got to see them up close and capture a quick video, but I have to admit, I wish we'd had more time to interact. But you know what? Even though the meet and greet was rushed, the best part of the experience wasn't just meeting Drew and Bayley. It was spending that time with my son, making a new friend, and sharing stories about our love for wrestling. It's those little connections you make with fellow fans that stick with you long after the event is over. Thanks for listening to my story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. And as always, I'll see you in the next wrestling video.